Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jason and you're watching Jason Jensen Trains. First off, I want to apologize that we have not gotten back to the large sci-fi layout. We will very soon. I have just been so inspired working on the new section of the layout. So inspired that I'm going on 0 sleep and tons of coffee. But before the video is over, I'll give you a glimpse at what I'm working on with the large sci-fi layout. But in today's video, we're going to add 2 new structures to the new section. All right, well, we got a lot to do, so let's get to it. Okay, well, believe it or not, we're going to be adding an N-scale structure to the layout. And this is to create the illusion of depth. This is going to be sitting up on a rock cliff. Now, I had this on my previous layout, and I did the same thing. I had it up on top of sort of a mountain area, and it really creates the illusion of depth. I think it looks really cool sitting up on a mountain. It actually looks like it's really big sitting up there. This model has been sold to many different companies. It's possibly been owned by Faller, a company maybe called Pola. I'm not sure on that. And I think the version I built, I thought it was from Builder and Scale. I just don't really remember. This is so old. This kit has been around for so many years. I'm sure if you went to walthers.com and did a search, you could probably find this. I'm sure they still sell this model. It's a beautiful kit. Now, what I did was I painted the brickwork white first, then lightly dry brushed a brick color over it, so you can kind of see some of that mortar showing. You just have to go really slow, but it is small, so it doesn't take too long. Just be patient with it. Now this will be surrounded by pine trees on the layout. And let me show you quick some of the trees. These are all handmade. So I carved the trunk out of balsa wood, and you could probably use bass or pine. And then you have to drill individual holes and put in all of the branches. Very time consuming, but the end result is really great. And then just lightly airbrush, or you could use a rattle can and spray some green on it. Take some hairspray and spray it and sprinkle on some fine turf. And then you can see there's some dead branches at the bottom. I probably have, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might have close to 10 of these done, but I will definitely do a video showing step by step how to make these. So I even made one that's completely dead. For our second model, we're doing a kit from Casey's Workshop. And you can see it's called Grumpy's Cafe. It's a very simple kit. So simple that it actually does not come with instructions. It's just a bag full of all the laser cut parts, the windows, the storefront. It comes with a ton of signs, awnings, a lot. It comes with a sidewalk that wraps around. Here's some other photos of it. I think this kit has a lot of character. Well, that's why I want it on my layout. So let me show you the model. Now, the signs on here are from the last model that I built. In the last video, I built a restaurant. It's like a 3-story restaurant, and it was a kit from Foscale Models. Well, that kit originally was supposed to be Porter Brothers Company store and grocery. So I changed that model to a restaurant. So I had the signs left over, and they were actually just laying on my workbench. So I thought, they'll be perfect for this. And even the interior and some of the other signs are from that kit. And all the castings are from all different companies. They're just in my box of castings. I scratch built the water tower. It is just a spool. You've seen me make them on the channel. So, just a spool of thread. I cut off that little rim around the top so that it's completely flat, and then just glue my boards to it. Then I take brown construction paper and cut the thin strips for the bands. And then the base that it's on is just strip wood. And then there's a pipe under it, and it's just a thin straw. I actually didn't put like accurate supports behind the sign because I figure it's just not really going to show. And it comes with a another door section, maybe like for loading or unloading stuff, but it goes against the back of the layout, so I actually did not put that in. I may later, or I may just put a giant sign over it just to cover it. It comes with the black thin paper for the tar paper. Again, it's just a really, really nice kit. Real quick, I did want to mention the colors. For the gray, I used neutral gray. And for the white, it's actually sand gray. Hopefully these both focused for you. So on a background structure, I don't like to use pure white, even an off-white. I'll show you the difference. Like a lot of times I'll use light buttermilk. So this is the gray, and this is the light buttermilk. So there's a slight difference, but on a background structure, I don't want that white to stand out. I want it to look further away. So I use a light gray. And I stained all of my wood first with murky brown. All right, well, let's take these over to the layout, and I'll sort of explain to you my thought process on where they're going to be and my plans for the scenery around it and the new section of the layout. Okay, for those of you that are following the sci-fi layout that I'm building, again, the characters are all Star Wars, G.I. Joe. They're 3 3/4 of an inch tall. This is actually going to get turned into a train engine. So I have to... There's screws under it, and I'll remove the tracks. Then I have to build something that goes on here that looks futuristic. Definitely more sci-fi. Because I want these to look like they're floating, they're hovering over the ground. Then I have to hollow this out to fit this engine inside of it. Now, to give you an idea, this is HO scale. So this engine here is O scale. And actually what we're modeling is G scale. So this will fit over the top of that and completely cover it. And this is just the motor power that runs on the track, on the O scale track. So we'll put this over it, and then we'll add more to this and make it look completely futuristic. And then I'd like to put my logo, Jason Jensen Trains logo, on there, the circle logo that you see at the beginning of my videos. I'll put that on both sides and possibly a large one on the top. Now, as far as the rolling stock, I'm starting with these, 3 of these, and they were given to me by my good friend Gino Sharp. And this was another tank. Sorry, I'm not very prepared here. So I've removed the bottom of it, and that'll get put on here. And again, there will be some type of tubing or plates that hide all of this, and the wheels, you won't see any of that. It'll come right above the ground. So we add something like that. Maybe we add something like this to it. We put some fencing on it. Just kind of thinking out loud with this, really. Maybe it's to move droids. So Everything has to be kit bashed and custom made. Okay, so here we are at the new section. Again, this gets raised up probably 12 inches. So that'll take care of that space back there. And then by the time we get some cliffs put in and a tree line, you won't see that space. And this gray panel is going to be replaced with a piece of thick styrofoam. I'll probably have to build a wooden frame around it. And it's the same styrofoam that I used in this section. So we'll just paint the clouds to wrap around. And then I want to paint mountains and trees to make it look like it goes really far off into the distance. Okay, so here is the N scale structure. And it looks pretty extreme sitting up there, but keep in mind there's going to be a road that goes uphill to this level, and we'll have some type of large building there that will probably be 4 stories, possibly even 5. And then I'll put a tree line behind it. So actually the amount of rock cliff that you'll see will be kind of thin. And then we'll have the pine trees come down on both sides. So it's just creating the illusion of depth. Using that N scale structure, having it smaller, just makes it look like it's further away. And then we have our second structure right here. Now, all of the structures that are sort of on the back side here, I'm trying to go lighter so that it just gives the illusion that it's further away. The further something is away from you, the lighter it gets. So by keeping all of these lighter and the rooftops lighter, it's creating that illusion of depth. I don't know if you can see on camera, the buildings up here are a little darker. The reds on them are darker, where the red, say back here, is lighter. I've done more dry brushing over the same color red, but it just gives that illusion of depth. So, because actually this isn't even 3 feet. It may be 2.5 or a little bit more, but it's under 3 feet. I'm not sure. I should have measured. It's either 4 feet or 5 feet for the length. But again, I'm just trying to do everything that I possibly can to create depth. And it works when you look at it in person, and then it really works when you go to photograph it. And we've talked about having everything go uphill. So that when you're down low photographing it, it just creates this illusion of this great depth. And again, it's really not that deep. So, I guess that's it for forced perspective. I mean, that's what it is. You're creating the illusion of a greater distance than what is actually there. Now, Disneyland is famous for doing this in their theme parks. They just are able to create the illusion of depth and the illusion of things being larger than what they actually are by the use of color and scale. I'm getting very excited because we are getting close to doing scenery work with, doing all rocks and water and trees. I have a large building that sits here that I have to build yet. And then right here in the center will be a gas station. And I'm using 2 kits from Foscale Models. And like I said, there's a road that comes up. And then there's also a road in the center that goes in front of the gas station and crosses a bridge and goes in between these 2 structures. You then, you could also take that road and go down and go behind here, and you'll cross another bridge. So I'll have 2 bridges for cars. And then we will have a water feature with water coming all the way down, and the water goes underneath this structure right here. So a lot of exciting videos coming up. I've said it many times, it's just so hard for me to sleep at night being so excited. I can just visualize what it's going to look like, and I'm just so excited to be able to get to it and just start building. But as you know, you have to do things in order. So I have to make sure that my buildings are done and placed where I want them, and then we'll have to put in foam and start carving it. So again, we just have a lot of exciting videos coming up. So please take a moment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of those videos. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I love hearing from all of you. So please leave a comment for me. And I try to respond to everyone, not only on YouTube, but on Facebook, on Messenger. It's hard. It doesn't always happen. I apologize. There's so many people that reach out to me, but I try to respond to all of you. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. All right. Well, until next time, stay motivated and happy modeling, everyone.